What's up guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about SVGs. Now let's get started. Alright, now an SVG is an HTML element and it's used to define graphics for the web, and SVG actually stands for Scalable Vector Graphics. Alright, now let's start with making a rectangle, and to do that we're going to want to start with the SVG tag, so SVG, close it, and then we're going to add the width and height attribute, so width. Now the width is going to be 200 and the height will be 100. Now let's open this tag and add the rect element or tag. And we're just going to copy this and put it inside here. Now if we open it with live server, then we should see a rectangle. There we go. Now let's change the color, and I will actually make it bigger for you guys. There we go. And to do that, we're going to want to add the style attribute. And we're not going to set the background or the color. We're actually going to set the fill like that. And we can just pick whatever color we want. And I'll just do, let's do forest green. There we go. And now, as you can see, we changed the color. All right, now let's add a stroke. And to do that, we're going to want to add the stroke attribute. And we can actually delete this. Styles are here. And just put the fill here instead of adding the whole styles. So let's add the stroke. I'm gonna make it black. And we have to set the width, so stroke width. And I'm gonna set it to, let's do 8. Let's see what it looks like. So now we have a green rectangle with a black stroke. Now let's make a circle. So let's delete all of this rectangle stuff and set the width and height to 100. Let's make it 50. No, let's do 50. And instead we're gonna add this circle tag, and then it's we're not gonna do the width and height. It's gonna be CX, and then that's gonna be half of the width. So it's gonna be 25, and then CY. That's gonna be 25. So CX is going to be basically the X. So the width, that's gonna be half of that, and then the CY is gonna be half of this. And now we're gonna add the radius. And that's going to be, let's do 15 and see what it looks like. So now we have a circle, and the radius, let's actually set it to 20 and set the color, so fill. Let's set it, let's do green too. Let's do forest green. There we go. So now we have a circle. And let's make it bigger. So let's change this to 100. This to 100. 50. 50. And let's do this. Let's do 40. So the radius is going to be 40. There we go. Now let's add a stroke. Stroke, that's going to be black. And then stroke width. Let's do 8. Should say 10. Oh, that's too much. So let's do 5. There we go. Let's actually make a rounded rectangle, and this one is pretty hard, so make sure you follow me. And don't change the values. You can change it after I show you how to do it. So the width is going to be 400 and the height is going to be 180. And now we're gonna add the rectangle tag, and then inside we're gonna have to set the width and height. So let's just copy this. And it's not gonna be exactly the same. It's actually going to be 150 and then 150 again. So copy this, put it here, 150. And then we have to set the X. So the X is going to be 50. And the Y is going to be 50. Now we're going to set the RX. And that's going to be, let's try half of that. And then RY, let's do half of that too. And actually this is going to be, yeah, 150, 150, and then the Y is actually going to be 25. So these three are going to be the same. And now we're done, so we can just set the color. So fill, let's do green again. So forest green, and then let's add a stroke. That's going to be black, and then stroke width. Let's set it to 6. Yeah, sure. There we go. And now, as you can see, we have a rounded rectangle. Now, I'm show you what these actually mean. So all of these ones. So let's see what happens when we change the X. Let's change it to 80. And as you can see, it moved here. So that's basically the location. So if we set this to 0, it's going to be really close here. So let's set this to, let's try 10. Let's do 5. There we go. And then the Y is going to be, so this is the X, and then this is the Y. So now let's just do this 5. There we go. So now we can make this smaller, like this. Now what these two do is basically how rounded you want it to be. So if we change this one to, we can delete this one actually, but when you actually make a shape, then yeah, you need the RY. So if we change this to 0, as you can see, it's not rounded. If we change this to 5, it's going to be a bit rounded. So if we change to 50, then we can actually change this into a circle. I think if we set this to 150, then there we go. It's a circle. So we made a rectangle, but then we turned it into a circle. But you want to have the RY always, and we can actually just set this to RY, and it's still going to be the same. So yeah. So basically, what you want is these two to be the same, because if I set this one to 50, then it's going to change. But yeah, so just have these two the same, and let's set this to 20, 20. And now we have a pretty cool rectangle. And so now that you know what all of these mean, you can go around and play and see what shape you end up with. Now I'm going to show you how to just copy SVGs from the web, and how there's a lot more cool shapes than just rectangles and squares and so on. So what you're going to want to do is go to Chrome and search up Bootstrap icons. First link. And now, as you can see, we have a lot of icons, and you can actually search up one here. So let's try tree. Yeah, let's try this icon right here. There's other websites that you can choose to copy the SVG or whatever you want. But yeah, so as you can see, they have the SVG right here, and they have this. But we're going to use this for now, and this doesn't work because we need to add links and stuff, but I'm not going to go into that. So if we just copy and paste it here, and open it with Live Server, then as you can see, we have a tree, and we can actually change the width and height. So here, let's change this to, let's change it to 60. Same thing here, and that should, there we go. So you can add icons, and there's other websites where you can find them, but this is the easiest one. Let's add an airplane. So we copy this, and then we paste it here. Let's paste it under. Let's change the width and height to 62. And see what it looks like. So now we have an airplane and a tree. And we can actually add these SVGs to, let's say, text or buttons. So let's do that. Let's make a button like this. And then inside of this button, let's say we want to make a like a log out button, right? So let's type in log out. and see that it actually works. So we have a logout button right here. So now we can go into here and then let's search up log out. And let's copy this icon right here. And then we can paste it here. So behind the text. And I feel like it might be too big. Yeah, so let's make it smaller. Let's try 8 by 8. And now, no, that's too small. Let's try 12 maybe. Like that. Well, that's not bad, but you get the point. So you can basically add these SVGs to text and inputs and to whatever you want. And you can find a few icons on this site right here. I'll leave a link in the description. And if you want, you can look for other websites with like actual images. But yeah. Alright, now this is going to be it for this video. If you guys have any questions, then leave a comment down below. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, then leave a like and sub to the channel. And thank you guys for watching this video again. See you in the next video, and bye.